So today's video is going to be my first trimester must-haves. So as you're watching this, I am 14 or 15 weeks pregnant and officially in the second trimester, so I wanted to share with you some products that I found helpful during my first trimester. So in general, I had a pretty rough first trimester. I definitely did my share of vomiting, and if you are going through that right now, I am so sorry, but hopefully it'll be over soon for you. It is getting better for me, and hopefully going to stay better for a while. I hear the second trimester is supposed to be lovely, rainbows and butterflies. It's the best you're going to feel while you're pregnant, blah, blah, blah. But I am waiting because I have puked just this same week, so maybe it will. Let's see. We will hope. But I want to show you some products that I found helpful. For one thing, I want to talk about nausea because that was the number one worst symptom that I had during pregnancy. So these are crystallized ginger chews. They are from my grocery store. I'm going to pull one out. You can buy them by the nuts and stuff. If you can buy plain, you can buy them in the regular grocery store, but they're basically little pieces of ginger. Sorry, my nails need to be redone, but pieces of ginger chews, and they're crystallized. They're awful. They taste absolutely dreadful, but I will say they work. Ginger is one of the most natural, remedies for nausea, and crystallized ginger is an easy way to eat ginger. If you can't eat the raw stuff and take a piece from the produce department, cut off a slice and put it in your mouth, try having it this way. You can also do ginger tea or peppermint tea, and ginger is a very helpful thing. Peppermint also, you can suck on peppermints, or you can do peppermint oil in a humidifier, or peppermint oil in your bubble baths or something, and just inhaling it. You can also take a couple drops of that essential oil and put it on the back of your wrist and just do this when you feel a little weak or whatever. Instead of perfume, you can smell like a peppermint, like a candy cane for the next few months, you know. And around Christmas time, maybe that's the appropriate way to smell. I don't know. The other thing I found helpful, which I want to be honest, I'm not sure how helpful these were, but they were very inexpensive, and if there's any chance that they lessened my nausea, I think they're worth it. They're very inexpensive. These are called C-bands, S-E-A bands, and they're basically look like a workout, like a sweatband that you would wear around your wrist. But basically you just wear them around your wrist. You get a set of two. I only have one with me, but on the outside it looks like just a little nub, like a little white plastic circle thing. But on the inside, if you can see here, there's actually a plastic nub that sticks out, like a round dome, and that presses on the acupuncture places that are supposed to help with nausea. So when I was going to work and I didn't want to puke at work, I really didn't, so I would wear these on both wrists. Especially now in the winter, you can get away with them. Nobody will even see them if you're wearing a sweater or something, or a jacket. The first time I got pregnant, I knew I was pregnant in July and August, so it was hot in Phoenix. It was over 100 degrees a day. But this time around, when I got pregnant, I did have a miscarriage. Then it was September, October, so when the nausea really hit me, it was mid-October. So I was able to pull these off. Nobody asked about them. I just wore them. People just thought they were an accessory, because I do wear accessories and stuff all the time, so nobody at work said anything. Also, I've been taking a lot of warm baths. My midwife recommended doing Epsom salts with essential oils in my bath every night. Warm, not hot, to raise your body temperature. That can be harmful to the baby as well. But a warm bath with Epsom salt to help relax your muscles and help if you're having any kind of soreness, if your belly hurts, if you have round ligament pain, or if your back hurts suddenly, you can try that. And then I put peppermint oil and lavender oil in it, and I took one every night before bed, around 8 o'clock. And then I would use the peppermint oil, I'd inhale it, and it would just make it really easy. So the other thing I do for nausea is I stopped eating huge meals. I eat now 100 or 200 calories at a time, and a lot of times. Meal times I'll eat a little bit more, but sometimes I'll have just a plain baked potato because that seems to work for me and it doesn't make me sick. And then an hour later I'll go down and have something else downstairs, So I don't think that if you are usually the person that eats 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, I don't think you're going to be real successful at pregnancy unless you get used to eating more frequently, because for me, an empty stomach is an upset stomach. A full stomach is an upset stomach. I need that stop when you're ahead kind of a thing. That's what I've learned in the last few weeks of pregnancy with the vomiting. Another tip I can say is keep a bag, a trash bag, a tote bag, anything like that in your car, in your purse. Keep it just bundled up. It's a clean, brand new, fresh bag, even a clear baggie if nothing else, with you at all times. Because if you're gonna vomit, even a brown paper bag, but those are paper and they don't like hold liquid too well. If you're gonna puke, you wanna have something with you. And so I have thrown up in the car while driving, unable to pull over. I have thrown up in very inconvenient places, but if I have a bag in my purse, at least if I'm in a parking lot or something, I don't feel like disgusting, like everybody can see me puking. I can throw up in my bag. I know that's awful, but if you are gonna puke, if you're a puker and you've already established this in your pregnancy, why not be prepared, even if you never use it? Even if that bag sits in the bottom of your purse for the first 15 weeks and then you say, okay, and you stop carrying it around with you. Trust me, if you were a puker like me, you will thank me later. Another thing is that headaches are a real thing in pregnancy. One of my apps, and I can't remember because I have 7 pregnancy apps on my phone, tells about the top 3 symptoms and then the percentage of women that have those during a set week. So like week 7, it would be like nausea, breast tenderness, and fatigue. Nausea, breast tender, fatigue. And they change like which one's first, second, and third place as far as who's the highest percentage, which symptom is the highest percentage among pregnant women reported during that week. Well, right around now where I am, like week 14, 15, 16 or something, it switches to, instead of nausea, breast tenderness, and fatigue, it switches to headaches, breast tenderness, and fatigue. So, headaches are a huge thing, and you don't want to be taking Tylenol every single day of your life. It is the one approved pain med. Acetaminophen is okay. It's not like bad, but like if you don't have to take Tylenol, do you want to take it every day? What I do is I save it. I take it like once or twice a week when I'm just like, I cannot work right now. Like I cannot function. I need it. Then I'll take it. Usually if I can, I'll just go ahead and take my lunch at that time and go rest my eyes for a half hour, or I will go to bed. If it's like 7 p.m., I'll just go take my bath and get in bed. Even if I don't sleep, at least if I can just like, you know, relax and not feel like the lights are bothering me and stuff in the room. Like I find that I just need to, you know, be alone and, you know, be in the quiet and not in the bright lights and stuff. So if you have a lot of headaches during pregnancy, I think that you're going to find essential oils really helpful, whether you're using them in a humidifier or a diffuser or your bath, or just putting them on your pressure points or smelling them, just holding the bottle in front of your nose and smelling it. Get used to having essential oils. I am not one, I always say like this is hippie stuff. Like when people like really supernatural stuff, like I'm like, psh, give me the hardcore like drugs. Like I don't mess around. Like if I need Tylenol, I'm taking Tylenol. Like that's how I've always been. But now that I'm pregnant, I've kind of changed my tune and I'm trying to be a lot better on my body and a lot more natural. So try the natural stuff. Honestly, it seems to work for me, and I'm not usually a believer in most of this stuff, but essential oils do work. So yeah, that's my testament for that. So those help with nausea and headaches, and you can take acetaminophen if you need. And the other thing is clothing. So for me, I only gained 2 or 3 pounds, maybe 2 pounds during my first trimester. I actually lost weight at times and then I gained it back. So for me, it was because I was throwing up, and it happens. But some women gain a lot of weight during their first trimester, especially if it's your second child. So you want to be prepared with your wardrobe. So for me, it was easy because I have lost 65 pounds, or I had before I got pregnant. And so I had clothes in larger sizes. I had like sizes 8, 10, all the way to like size 22. So I just kind of was able to move up a size. I went from my 12s to my 14s again, or my 14s to my 16s. And now I have pants and it's fine. But if you're not one of those women, maybe you should consider buying a pair of pants that's a size larger than you normally wear to get you through months 2, 3, and 4. You can also buy a belly bands, which are a stretchy band to go around your waist. They kind of cover that top of your jeans where you can't button your jeans anymore, but you also aren't ready to be in maternity jeans because maternity jeans are expensive and, you know, they're just uncomfortable for some people. I mean, I want them. Like, I would wear them right now if I needed them, but I do have some maternity clothes. I haven't actually had to break into them too much yet. I've worn a couple of pieces just because I like them, but I'm trying to wear my normal clothes as long as I can because I know I'm going to have a very limited wardrobe once I go into maternity, and I'm a woman who likes variety in my wardrobe, especially when I'm getting dressed with makeup and going to work. I probably only get dressed up like 3, maybe 4 days a week, and so the days that I'm at home and I'm just working from home, I tend to wear no makeup, you know, my hair's just down and like off wavy from my bath the previous night. I go to bed with my hair wet and it's like all over the place, and I don't care. But when I do want to dress nice, I want to have options. So a belly band is good, going up a size, investing in some long tunic tank tops, like the camisoles that you get for like $3 or $4 or $5 at Forever 21. The long tunic ones are great, because if your shirts are getting a little bit short because you got a bump now, you want something that's going to cover that your jeans aren't buttoned anymore. The other thing is, if you haven't heard of it, you can use the hair tie trick on your buttons. Google that. It's really simple. You just put your hair tie around the button and then you thread it through the other side of the hole where the button goes. So your jeans can be like this far apart using the hair tie instead of buttoning together. So that'll give you a couple extra inches in the waistband. If you're not ready to invest in maternity clothes, maybe you can't afford them, or you're trying to hold off as long as possible and still wear your expensive jeans, you know, you can definitely do that and buy yourself a couple months. So right around now is when most women start feeling better. That is great. I have not been able to do caffeine still, or coffee. Coffee smells awful to me for some reason, so you might find yourself feeling a little bit lethargic. Maybe you're not sleeping as well. Maybe you're just getting up 5 times a night to go pee. So one thing that I found that helps me get better sleep is I drink a lot of water during the day, and then right around like 5 or 6 p.m. I start tapering off the amount of water I drink. I might let myself have 1 glass of water between like 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock when I go to bed. And that's just like as needed, because I found that I was getting up 3 or 4 times a night to go pee. And the interrupted sleep is just, even if you get 9 hours, it's still 9 crappy hours. You know, you're in and out of sleep too much and uncomfortable while you are sleeping because your body's trying to wake you up to tell you, you gotta pee, get up. So for me, drink a lot during the day, and then I don't drink as much at evenings, and that helps me get a better night's sleep. But try to keep track just for a couple days, like of how much water you're drinking, because water intake is important. Of course, we all know that for many, many aspects of our health and bodies. But if you are looking for relief from like cramping in your like leg cramps or other things like that, being hydrated is going to help. Your skin will be better, more glowy. You'll have a lot of health benefits from drinking more water, but especially during pregnancy, you're supposed to drink even more than normal. So up it a little bit if you're not a water drinker. Maybe have those little like flavor powder flavor packets that you can put in a water bottle, like Crystal Light or Crystal whatever. Those flavors might help. But yeah, if you're finding it hard to stay awake, do your best to go to bed earlier. I know it's hard, but at this time of year it gets dark so early that it's actually easier to go to bed at this time of day. So if you're not at earlier in the evening, if you're not the person who normally goes to bed early, give it a shot now that the sun goes down at like 5 something. You could probably, you know, find yourself naturally 15 minutes at a time moving your bedtime to a little bit earlier, and you might feel better. If that isn't an option, try to catch some naps when you can. That'll help as well. If you want people to know that you're pregnant, the most flattering shape on a lot of pregnant bodies is a shirt or a dress that has a line separating right under the bust, you know, right here, and then kind of floats out in the belly and is kind of like flowy there. That'll make you look pregnant even if you aren't pregnant, you know, more pregnant. So if you want people to know you're pregnant, wear that. If you don't want them to know you're pregnant, then flowy shirts you might think make you look better. Now, an overall baggy shirt will make you look unknown, like questionable, like is she just eating crap or is she pregnant? But if you want to look really skinny or not pregnant yet and you're trying to hide it for a little bit longer in your first trimester, what I have found is wearing a dress or something that has the line, rather than right under the bust, down at my natural waist and then floats out. So rather than like a peasant top where it has bust and then line, wearing a line right across like where my belly button is or a little bit higher, that actually makes me look thinner. So if I don't want people to know I'm pregnant, I dress like that, and if I do, I wear a line right under the bust and I stick it out and, you know, stand from the side and everybody can tell I'm pregnant. So that's just a little thing I have learned with dressing my new body. I forgot to mention there are Preggy Pops and Preggy Drops. Those are Preggie. Believe they sell them at Target, but I got mine on Amazon. They're just like little hard candies you can suck on, or lollipops that you can suck on that have sugar and things that are going to help your nausea. I found them pretty helpful and they're tasty, so you can buy hard candies of a lot of different kinds and they're probably going to do almost the same thing, but the Preggy Pops and Preggy Drops are specifically made for pregnant women, so give those a shot if you are desperate. I also found ginger ale pretty helpful, And you can also do ginger tea, peppermint tea, and water. I found that drinking a lot of water actually made me want to puke, so that it got harder because I'm normally a water drinker. But when I can't, I feel like if I have water, I'm just going to throw it up. I will just sip a little bit at a time. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I will link my pregnancy announcement and all of my different pregnancy updates that are currently live on my channel down below, so you guys can check those out if you're interested. Go ahead and submit some questions for my next Q&A video coming soon, and stay tuned for my holiday giveaway. Thanks for watching. Bye.